Hey guys, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back, and I can't wait to see what you guys think of these new transformations of pieces of clothing. This week is going to look a little bit different. I spent all week working on a couple of pieces, and I put a little more effort into both pieces as far as details go. I really wanted to give these new recreations a wow factor. The love is in the details. However, I lost all the video footage. Now, is this the worst thing that could happen to me? Probably not. Yes, I put a lot of work into it, and it's a little disappointing, but I still have those pieces that I recreated and rebuilt. And I still have the before shots, so you can see a comparison. And I have footage of me adding one last detail onto one of the pieces. So I'm gonna work with what I have, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk you through kind of what I did. So with that said, thanks for joining me on this wild ride. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, let's take it to it. The first thing I did to this sweater was I cropped it at the bottom, and I cut out this bottom strip part so I could then reattach it, and I sewed that back onto the bottom using an embroidery needle and embroidery thread as well, because this is a thicker knit material, so I wanted to use a thicker thread to kind of keep it together. I went ahead and just cut that top neckline to where I thought I would see fit. I wanted a wide neckline so it could fit more on my shoulders like this. I went in there with hot glue because everything that I had cut was kind of fraying apart. Using hot glue on a knit material is so not recommended. It was fraying, it was going everywhere. It's probably not my best idea. I do not recommend it. If you have fabric glue, I absolutely would recommend that. Being quarantined, I don't have the supplies I needed, and I'm just trying to work with what I have. And I covered it with this nice stitching across it. So I used yarn to create this, and in some places where I knew it was going to sit on my shoulders and I didn't want the hot glue to affect it, I added more yarn to kind of give it more of a cushion. And here towards the front, I liked that patchy look. I think it gave it more of a homemade element, which is kind of something I wanted to go for in this project. So how I did this stitch is I used a knitting needle. That's the needle I was working with. And this is the embroidery needles I was working with. To make that flower, I first outlined where I wanted the center of the flower to be with a Sharpie, and found 2 yarn threads that I thought were really pretty and would look well for this flower. I threaded the yarn through where I wanted the first petal to be, using that Sharpie outline as a guide, and I created a loop for the petal and added a stitch at the top where I wanted the petal to face and to hold that loop down. And then created this again on the inside of that loop, so you'll see me creating another loop and adding another stitch at the top of that one to hold that loop down. And there you have it, there's my first petal. And here is a closer look at how you do that. Alright, to create the center of this flower, I simply created a bunch of little knots in the middle. You first pull the thread through, then loop your needle around the thread about 3 times and stitch it back through in the next stitch. And I did this enough just to fill the center of the flower. And there you have it. There is my flower. The next piece that I did was this tie back bandeau. You had to wear it without a bra, and I can do that. I like a little more security. So this is folded so that it is a square piece. So there's 2 kind of layers. So this is how the alteration came out. I started off this piece by just cutting off the corners and hemming them together. And then when I added the elastic, I added it through that hem. So I folded it inside out and added the elastic pieces through and sewed a straight stitch across. So the fabric that was cut off looked something like this. I used the scrap material to make this bow. So how I did that is I take this piece and I match it up to this and then squish it together to make a little bow, which then I attached a bobby pin to the back. So this piece can be worn with just the straight back, or if you decide to wear a bra and you want to give it a little extra covering, you can just slip that bobby pin through there, or you could slip it through too, and then voila, you have a bow on the back because I did like that tied effect. So that would be the back now. Thanks again guys for watching. Next week, I promise we'll have more video footage and I've learned from my mistakes, so I know what to do next time. I would love to hear your feedback, so please leave a comment on what you think of these new pieces. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week.